Friends, this is Ankit Gupta, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department, UCR. So today our topic is the primary divisions of surveying. So it is the second lecture of the unit 1 of surveying, and in this we will cover of different divisions of survey, primary divisions and the principles of surveying. Okay. So the basically the surveying can be divided into two parts, that is plane surveying and geodetic surveying, in which the division we consider the point that we take while considering the doing the divisional of surveying is the surface area. Okay. So as we know that the shape of the earth is spheroidal, we know that the actual shape of the earth is spherical in shape. Okay, it is not the flat surface. So on this point only we differentiate between two parts, that is primary plane surveying and geodetic surveying. So the first one is plane surveying. Coming to the plane surveying, so the plane surveying is that type of surveying in which earth's surface is considered as a plane and the curvature of the earth is ignored. Okay. So in plane surveying, what happens that we consider the earth surface as the plane. We know that is the surface of the earth is spheroidal in shape, it is spherical, it is not plane, but in this what we consider is that the surface of the earth is plane and the curvature of the earth is ignored. Okay. So the curvature, that is the of the earth, is ignored. Simply we assume that the earth surface is plane surface. In such surveying, a line joining any stations is considered to be straight. Okay. Straight means when 2 points are taken as the 2 reference points are taken. So when you join that line with some method, so what happens that we consider that the lines are straight, but actual what happens that the line is curved with some refraction, curvation, there are various things. So but we assume that the line is straight. Okay. So this is also the point in plane surveying. The triangle formed by any 3 points is considered as a plane triangle, and the angles of the triangle are considered as plane angles. Okay. So these are the points, that if 3 points is considered when a large area is there. So what happens that when you do surveying of a large area, so we divide that area into small triangles. Okay, this is the basic thing about surveying, that whole area is divided into small triangles, and the triangle is considered as the plane triangle, and the angles of the triangle are considered as plane angles. So this is all in plane surveying, and the surveying is carried out for a small area of less than 250 kilometer square. So you should note that point, that when the surveying is carried out for less than 250 kilometer square area, then it is considered as, then the points which is used for plane surveying, we will consider that points. Okay, means we will consider if you are doing surveying for less than 250 kilometer area, then what you will think that the surface of the earth is plane, the points that we connect 2 points is also the straight line, no curvature, no refraction is there, and when you consider a small area, then what we consider that the area is also plane. Okay. Now it is carried out by local or state agencies like R&B department, irrigation department and railway department, and these primary surveying can be conducted by the local authorities. Example, some examples are given. So and some also private agencies can be conducted the plane surveying. Next is the next part of primary divisions of surveying is the geodetic surveying. What happens in geodetic surveying, that the geodetic surveying is that type of surveying in which the curvature of the earth is taken into account. So this is the difference, that in the previous one the curvature of the earth is neglected, but in this the shape of the earth is considered and the curvature of the earth is also taken into account. It is generally extended over larger areas. When you do surveying for a very large area, then you have to consider the curvature of the earth and the surface of the earth, because if you neglect the surface of the earth, then the wrong positions can be considered. Then the triangle formed by any 3 points is considered to be spherical. The line joining any two stations is considered as curved line. Okay, in the previous and what we were considered, that the line joining was we considered as the plane straight line, but in this we consider the line joining as curved line. Next is the triangle formed by any 3 points is considered to be spherical, and the angles of the triangle are considered to be spherical angles. Okay, so the angles also is considered as the spherical angles and the spherical triangles. Now the geodetic surveying is conducted by the Survey of India. ठीक है, Survey of the geodetic surveying, the data which is considered, which is to be under geodetic surveying, it is done by the Survey of India, okay, and is carried out for a larger area exceeding 250 km square area. Okay, so this is these all are the difference. Now point by point we will see the difference. This is the diagram of the geodetic surveying, in which geodetic coordinates are considered. As you can see, the surface of the earth in a spherical shape. See, this is the okay, so this is the 2 points you can see between sea level and elevation. So what we will think that what we consider that when the line between two are joined, then we considered it as curved line, but it is not so in the plane surveying. When two lines are considered, it will be considered as the straight line. So okay, so when this curved line is considered and this are reduced, then corrections are done. This we will cover in the upcoming videos and upcoming lectures. Now this is the difference in which point by point it is mentioned, that plane surveying and geodetic surveying. So what happens, the earth surface is considered as plane surface, and in the geodetic the earth surface is considered as the curved surface. The curvature of the earth is ignored. In the plane surveying, no curvature of the earth is considered, but in the geodetic surveying, curvature of the earth is considered. It is taken into account. The line joining any two stations is considered to be straight, and line joining any station is considered as spherical. So this is also the difference, that in the first one it is considered as straight, and in the second one it is considered as spherical. The triangle formed by any 2 points is considered as plane, and the triangle formed by any 3 points is considered as spherical. Same, triangle will be as plane triangle, and in the second one the triangle will be a spherical triangle. Okay, triangle means a small area. When the area is large, then whole area is divided into a small area, that is triangle. So a triangle means triangle. You can also say that a small area of a small portion of the larger area. Then the angles of the triangle are considered as plane angles, and the angles of triangle are considered as spherical triangles. Okay, so the difference between angles is there, that in the first one it is plane angle and the second one is spherical angles. Then the next point is it is carried out for less than 250 km square area, and geodetic surveying it is carried out for more than 250 km square area. Okay, now coming to the fundamental principles of surveying, next topic. The two basic principles of surveying are there. Okay, remember these 2 points, that there are two basic principles of surveying. First one is to work from whole to part, and the second one is to locate a new station by at least 2 measurements, that is linear or angular, from fixed reference points. So there are two principles of surveying. First one is to work from whole to part, and second one is to when you locate a new point with the help of two reference points whose points has already been known, and this you can calculate with the help of either linear measurements or angular measurements. Okay, linear means with the help of some distance, and angular means with the help of some angle. Now coming to the first principle, that work from whole to part. So according to this principle, the whole survey area is first enclosed by main stations, that is control stations, and the main survey lines, and the survey area is divided into a number of divisions by forming well conditioned triangles. So in the first one, the methodology we use is that the whole area, first we consider the whole area. Okay, it means that if some area, if a large area, in the large area the survey is to be done, then what happens that we first you consider the whole area, and you point out the main control stations or main control points and the main survey lines. From then you will come to the small triangles or small area with reference to that control points and the survey lines, so that the problem of this mistakes and errors can be reduced. Okay, it is also called to localize the errors and mistakes. Localize the errors and mistakes means that if some error or mistake is there, then it can be localized within that area only. Matlab, it doesn't extend to the whole survey area, because when you do survey, so minor errors can be come, like for example some angles may be interrupted due to local attraction. Some when you are doing the chain survey or some distance measurement is done, then the line of traction can be oblique. So for all this purpose, this working from whole to part is to be used. This is the diagram. As you can see, this first major control points or the main survey lines are drawn, example capital KH, this G, F, E, C, D, and then after that this dotted lines, the whole area is divided into small triangles. With the help of these triangles, the complete survey is done, and if some error is there, then it can be localized with these triangles within these triangles only. Okay, and then read out this point. The main survey lines are measured very accurately and precise. Very survey instrument, when you consider the main survey lines and main control points, then it is done very accurately, because with the help of that only the remaining portions will be considered. And the purpose of this method of working is to control accumulation of errors, as I have discussed that it is used to localize the errors. Then during measurement, if there is any error, then it will not affect the whole work, but if reverse process is followed, then the minor error is measured within will be magnified. Okay, so reverse process means if you are assuming the small area and going to the big area, then it can be happen that the errors can be magnified. The whole survey which we have done can be wrong. So to localize these errors, this working from whole to part principle is used. Next is to locate a new station by at least 2 measurements. Next principle is that when you locate a point with the help of 2 measurements, or 2 reference points from which is the fixed reference points and the known reference point. Okay, so according to second principle, the points are located by linear or angular measurements, or by both in surveying. If 2 control points are established first, then a new station can be located by linear measurements. Let capital A and capital B are control points and A point C can be established. So this is the point, and it is given that cap A and B are the control points and C is the point which has to be established. Okay, so this is the points. This is the different points which is to be considered. They are taking linear measurements from A to B for C, taking linear measurements of perpendicular from D to C, taking 1 linear measurement and 1 angular measurements, taking 2 angular measurements at A and B and 1 angle CAB or angle ABC, and taking 1 angle at B and angle ABC, and 1 linear measurement from A as AC. As you can see in the diagram, that in the first one A and B are the points and C has to be located. So what you will do, you can take the linear measurements D1 and D2 from both the reference points A and B, and point C can be located. And from the C, what will happen? What happens that A and B are the points and you will take the perpendicular distance. Okay, perpendicular distance from point C to the line, and this point can be located. Further, in the next point C can be located with the help of either angle ABC or angle CBA. ठीक है, that is theta 1, and further the distance CB can be calculated with the help of some linear measurements. Okay. Next is, that is D. In this, two angles can be considered either from CAB or from CBA, theta 1 and theta 2. Both the angles are taken and it is correlated in a single point, and that gives the value of or point, reference point C. And then the last one, distance AC is calculated by some distance measurement, that is D2, and theta 1 either angle ABC or CBA, it can be calculated by some angle measurements. So, from these points what happens, that you can calculate the reference. With the help of reference point you can calculate the point C, that is the points which has to be calculated, which has to be known with the help of these methods, different linear and angular measurement methods. Okay. So, this is all for today. So, today we covered about the primary divisions of survey and the principles of surveying, that is important. In the next we will see about different classification of surveys. Okay. Thank you.